Mark Pope and his staff flew out to Las Vegas to meet with San Diego State guard Lamont Butler and left with a commitment. KSR's Matt Jones was the first to break the news. Butler averaged 9.3 points, 3 assists, and 2.6 rebounds per game for the Aztecs in 2023-24. A four-year player at SDSU, the 6'2 guard earned 102 total starts and was a crucial piece in the team's run to the national championship game a year ago. Butler hit one of the biggest shots in NCAA history when he hit a buzzer beater against Florida Atlantic in the Final Four. That pushed the Aztecs into the national championship game versus UConn. Butler wrote Wednesday night when entering the transfer portal, "My last 4 years at San Diego State has been a dream come true. We've been able to accomplish so much in my time. I will forever cherish the memories I made in an Aztec jersey. I've made lifelong friendships and was gifted with a brotherhood that no one can take away from me. Thank you to the show and the amazing fans for your support." The Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year and three-time Mountain West All-Defense honoree scored 1,008 points and totaled 338 assists and 305 rebounds across his career in San Diego. Now he'll be taking his talents to Lexington. And Kentucky Sports Radio's Brandon Ramsey has been going through film of Lamont Butler. Here's what he has to say.
The exciting part about Lamont Butler is you're checking those boxes that I think we all talked about of you want to get older, you want to get more physical, you want to get better defensively. I think these are three pretty popular topics coming out of last season when, we weren't a lot of those things. And Lamont Butler has those things in spades, really. I mean, this is a 6'2", 200-pound guard. So he's not big necessarily in terms of height, but he's pretty long, and he certainly is physical and strong and athletic. So he plays a little bit more physical brand of basketball. He's played 131 college basketball games with 102 starts across his career. This is a guy that started for a national runner-up team, started on a Sweet 16 team this past season, so he clearly has a lot of experience under his belt. And then he's arguably the one of, if not the best, on-ball defender and perimeter defender in the transfer portal. This is a guy that has been a three-time Mountain West all defensive team selection. He was I believe he was the media pick for Defensive Player of the Year in 2023, and he was the coach's pick for Defensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West in this year in 2024. So now Kentucky pairs a guy like Amari Williams around the rim, arguably the best interior defender in the transfer portal, with Lamont Butler, who's arguably the best perimeter defender in the transfer portal. Some of the concerns certainly center around what he can do as a shooter. This is a guy that was, I think, 30.2% from three this past season. And then from the free throw line, he was under 60%. That's very concerning. But I think as a sophomore, he was about 77%. As a junior, he was about 73%. So hopefully it was just kind of a one-year hiccup and something weird happened with the shot there. But I worry a little bit about the shooting because we all know what Coach Pope's offense was kind of supposed to be like coming out of BYU last season. But I think he'll find ways to scheme that. And you don't necessarily have to worry about like every single guy on the court being this elite shooter, especially if you can put him around other guys. But yeah, I think you're getting a high-level winner, a high-level defensive player, a guy that can be either a primary or a secondary playmaker with the ball in his hands. He's a 3 assists per game guy, 2-to-1 assist turnover ratio. And the shooting numbers, I think, just are what they are. But, if you're good enough to start for a team that was national runner-up, then I think you're good enough to be a part of what we're trying to build here in year one at Kentucky. I just think that some of the concerns about the shooting numbers probably just get a bit overblown because, really all you need this guy to be able to do is make people pay for going under the ball screens and handoffs. And he's also explosive enough that you have to kind of be careful going underneath stuff too much because he's so good with his first step and he's so physical at the end of his drives that when you give him that driving lane, when you kind of give him that running start, then he's pretty darn good at getting to the rim and scoring it. And also as a spot-up guy, I forget what the synergy numbers were specifically, but I think he was like in the 76th percentile as a spot-up shooter. So he can make catch-and-shoot threes if you leave him open. He can make some threes off the dribble behind the handoff or behind the ball screen if you go underneath. And I think that's all you need out of him from a guard spot.
And that makes 4 players now on Mark Pope's first roster at Kentucky, with a lot more to come this week. Make sure you subscribe to KSR on YouTube. Also, make sure you're subscribed to KS Board so you can get an early look into all of this stuff and how this roster is playing out. We'll see you next time.